Hello everyone, I'm Major Anthony Buchanan. You're watching the second edition of the 807th Medical Command's video magazine, The Pulse. In May, members of the 945th Forward Surgical Team got the opportunity to test their skills in a high-stress training environment at the Naval Medical Center in San Diego, California. Here's the story.
You know, the main priority of this course is to get them to act like a team, to you know, perform as a team, because everybody here has their experts. You know, we have surgeons that come on board, and we have CRNAs, nurse anesthetists, technicians, medics, everybody. And everybody knows their craft, and they're all very, you know, they're brilliant at it. The problem is that they don't know how to put these things together as a team, and that's what we build on here. Is we take them from baby steps, and you know, from day one they realize that they're not as smart as they thought they were. They're not as ready as they thought they would be. And by the time they leave here on day 6, they are a cohesive unit, and it's just it's a pleasure to see that, you know, throughout the days that we teach them here.
This is part of a research project for the Joint Program Committee 1. And it dealt with teamwork and team performance over a period of time for providers across the continuum of care, in particular in-route care and from point of injury on forward.
Overall mission of a forward surgical team is damage control surgery. From the point of injury at a role 1 to surgical intervention at a role 2. It's not definitive surgery at all. It's damage control surgery. So the intent is to stop some of the larger injuries, mitigate those issues, and get them to a role 3 as fast as possible.
Many of us have deployed in the past. We do quite a bit of training, as much as we can at our home station. However, this brings a higher level with the hyper-realistic immersion training, brings a higher level of what we're going to see in theater. We try to replicate what we see in theater as much as possible, and it's very difficult to do that. The folks here at Strategic Operations and the Naval team were able to incorporate from their past experiences what type of patients we're going to be seeing in theater.
What I am here to do is to bring all those professionals, individual professionals, together and make a professional team. So when they come in, I have literally a team of a bunch of individual professionals. At the end of the course, I have one single professional team. And this is trauma resuscitation and trauma care in an austere environment with a time and distance tyranny. Is about the team and about the protocol. How can we move that football down the field? It's not about the quarterback. It's not about the linebacker. It's about the entire team and one unified effort. And that is what the course is trying to do.
Surprise, it's election season. Are you aware of what you can and cannot do as a member of the armed forces? Check out the DoD Directive for political activities by members of the armed forces to learn more.
The Company and Field Grade Officer Leadership Development course, known as CGOLD FGOLD, is a joint collaboration between the 3 Army Reserve Medical Commands. Here's the story.
Today was day 1 of our CGOLD FGOLD 2016 course. We have over 230 officers from across the AMED, from active duty, National Guard, and Reserve components. After day 1 of the course curriculum, this is our no-host social, because as we know, half of the decisions that we make, you know, within our AMED community aren't just done at the business table, they're done in an informal, relaxed setting. So with our no-host social today, we're encouraging mentorship, communication, and just getting to know one another from the various commands that we represent across the United States, Puerto Rico, Germany, and then Okonos as well in Hawaii.
Well, we just went to a terrain walk and a staff ride for the Battle of El Bracito, the Mexican-American War. December 25th, 1846. Colonel Doniphan's forces, a reserve militia force from Missouri, led by a reserve officer voted in by his men, Colonel Doniphan, defeated a superior Mexican army force at the Battle of El Brazito, and they drove Mexican armies outside of El Paso. They met them outside of El Paso and drove them back into El Paso. And a small tactical victory with big strategic results. They ended up turning the whole center of the Mexican nation back because of that one small battle. Just got a small taste of what Colonel Doniphan and his troops had to go through to get here, right? Of course, they would have been on foot and on horseback through this terrain, but you could just see the vastness of the terrain and what they were dealing with, right? Take all that into consideration, right? The terrain, how it looks like from up here, down there, on that soldier's level, type of weapon systems that he had. That's the way he would have arrayed his forces, okay? So next, we're gonna walk down into the battlefield and you're gonna see what the foot soldier would have saw when they actually came upon the Mexicans. So again, here, we're the commander, looking up here, oh, there's a river, look, I can array my forces there. Come this way. Now we're going to get down to the foot soldier level and see how it actually would have looked on the battlefield. The dust, the bugs, the dirt. I don't know how much people know how much smoke throws off from these rifles, though, but you add all black powder smoke into all this stuff, you would not be able to see a whole lot. The hills are back there. So on Christmas Day, okay, we're moving our forces down from Tactical Assembly Area Santa Fe. We're coming down to hit Objective 1, El Paso del Norte, correct? He only puts out a couple scouts out into the hills. He doesn't put out any pickets or anything like that. He's not really full on in the defense. He's mostly just hanging out. He told his men, when they fired that volley, he told all his soldiers to stand up and down.
Right now they're doing a culminating event from the Battle of El Brazito. We went and sent all of our company grade officers on a field trip staff ride to New Mexico. We went and took the field grade officers and gave them a virtual staff ride where now they're doing an AAR from that battle to prepare for the next battle, whatever that next battle is. So we took the field grade from the strategic level, implemented them with the company grade so that we can get a full staff representation to give a great AAR so that they can back brief some 06s tomorrow morning for the presentation.
Well, hopefully you'll spread the message. We'll have more students in 2017, right?
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Greetings, soldiers. I want to provide you with a brief overview of the USAR AMED Leader Toolkit application. We firmly believe that this application is going to become your go-to reference in helping you to become a more effective leader in the United States Army Reserves. While the app is targeted for the 3 major medical commands within the Army Reserve, we firmly believe that any leader in the Army Reserve will find this application helpful. Our team has compiled brief descriptions and hyperlinks to over 300 indispensable resources which will help you know what to do when you don't know what to do. Many of these resources are organized into popular topics like promotions and career management, soldier pay and soldier travel, education and employment benefits, and health and wellness. Other resources are grouped by the appropriate staff sections where you would typically go for information and guidance when you needed help. We have even developed an extensive list of resources around critical areas like suicide prevention, SHARP, and family programs for you and your loved ones. Since a number of these resources require access to either CAC-enabled websites or websites that are only accessible on the USAR net or a VPN session, you can access all this information on a website with the same content. Simply go to www.leadertoolkit.com and resize your browser window to replicate a mobile device. From there, you can access everything on the app right from your home or government computer. If you're using a government computer, you'll probably have a much better experience using the Mozilla Firefox browser instead of the Internet Explorer. Finally, I hope that you will share this toolkit with your friends using the share button on the app, as well as help to make this app better by using the feedback option on the main page. If you will provide us with recommendations regarding other resources that you believe soldiers will find helpful, you can help to make this app an even greater resource. If you enable the alerts during the app's installation on your device, you'll also receive messages whenever new resources are added or expanded in the app. As a member of the military profession, you know that our measure of success is our effectiveness in leading soldiers. I believe that this app will help you to become a more effective leader in providing our soldiers with the outstanding leadership that they need and that they deserve. Thank you for all that you have done, all that you continue to do, and all that you will do in the future, both for our great nation and the dedicated soldiers that are entrusted to your care.
In August, units based in the Seagoville, Texas area reopened the Seagoville Army Reserve Small Arms Range. Here's the story.
Commence fired.
Members of the 807th Medical Command Deployment Support Leadership Team and other key leaders from the Seagoville, Texas area were the first to put rounds down range on the Seagoville Army Reserve Small Arms Range. The 63rd Regional Support Command established range control activity to manage this local training area. The project is expected to save approximately $1.7 million. Reporting from Seagoville, Texas, I'm Army Captain Anthony Buchanan.
Maintain a heightened sense of awareness. Be aware of your associations. Don't be a soft target.
In early August, members of the 330th Medical Brigade and other units on Fort Sheridan participated in an active shooter exercise with their local police and fire departments. Here's the story.
The bad guys are identified. The biggest thing I want to try to say is today is, number one, again, reiterate what the commander said, is safety is number one and paramount. We want to make sure everybody's kept safe. If you get told that you're shot by the referee, he's the referee. He's not only there to protect he's there to protect two people. Number one, he's there to protect the good guys as well as the bad guys to make sure that they don't necessarily get hurt. Okay? Move! I hear banging. Go. Go to the next door. Go to the next door. Go. How many shooters do we have?
They told me. I had not heard. They just found me. Okay.
Medics, let's go. We got one guy shot. Stay out. Yeah. Got somebody crawling out of the office over here. Okay, hold that hallway. Don't let them come in. Hold that hallway. Go. We'll check that person out over there first.
Today we responded to an active shooter event. It was a drill at Fort Sheridan, Illinois. We took the role as the first responding emergency medical care or fire facility, and we treated it as a rescue task force incident. Our paramedics, firefighters grouped up into task force and went in with the active shooters, applied care, triaged the patients, provided patient protection pickup points, and delivered the patients to the facilities, and operated within a incident command system that would be multi-jurisdictional and multi-agency successfully.
We went inside per the orders of the police. When they deemed certain areas were safe, we went into that room, did a quick triage and quick bandaging of these patients. drag them out to a safe area, and immediately move them to the patient collection point.
Red is most critical. They usually get transferred first. Yellow is a little bit delayed, but not as less critical. And green is pretty much stand by and wait for everything is clear, and then we take care of their injuries.
Okay, just one green. Got it.
I think it was really good to practice, especially with the outside agencies we had to work on, you know, just our security procedures and things like that. So for 330th, we hosted an anti-terrorism work group here 2 weeks ago, where we brought in Department of Homeland Security, we brought in FEMA, Chicago Counterterrorism Police Department, Defense Intelligence Agency, and so we helped our battalions build their programs for FY17, budget what they were going to do for their battalion programs.
I just learned something watching a video that I'm going to pass out. Don't call people. I know that's the natural tendency, but if your child or somebody's hiding under a desk, you might have just got that person killed. So the point being is we can always learn something. Even though we're old and we think we're smart, we learn something through each exercise.
That does it for this edition of The Pulse. Until next time, mission first, never quit.